Hello everyone. Thank you for joining me today, especially since I have been gone for so long. I know I haven't done anything on this channel or blog for about 7 months, but it's because I've been dealing with some health issues, and I've had a family member dealing with health issues that we have been trying to help out as well. I'm okay, and they're doing really well, so I'm back, but for the moment I don't want to promise more than 2 videos a month that they will come out on the 1st and the 15th. If I can do more than that, I certainly will, and I have some fun stuff that I want to do, some home decor as well as just cards, and one of my favorite things to do, a mini album. So we will get to that eventually, and like I said, if I can get out more than 2 videos a month, I will certainly do that, but I don't want to promise more than I can do. And if you hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell, you'll find out when I do upload stuff in case it's a surprise upload. I am trying to do things better, but this is a learning process for me, and I'm learning how to edit and stuff. The card making and stuff I've been doing for a long time, but the rest of it is pretty new to me, the technical aspect of it. So please forgive my filming and my editing. I promise it will get better because I learn more and more every time I do it. But anyway, just a general thank you all very much. And today I'm going to do a card based on the end of Supernatural Season 13 called Dean's Wings. If you're a Supernatural fan, you know that's when Dean gets his angel wings. And when I saw that episode, I just had to make this card. It just went into my mind immediately. I'm using the Kindred Stamps Demon Hunter stamp. Unfortunately, the last time I looked for a link for that, they did not have it, so I'm not sure if it's out or not. I will try to find out if it's out or if it's discontinued, if it's just, out of stock, or if it's discontinued, and we'll let you know. I stamped the little Dean character in my Misty. I outlined it with Prismacolor pencils. All the pencils I use are Prismacolor pencils, and I outlined it with Non-Photo Blue number 919, and all these will be listed over on my blog. For his skin, I used Light Peach number 927, and for his hair, I used a combination of Dark Umber, Light Umber, and Tuscan Red, and blended it together. I had erased it because I wanted it to be a little highlighted in the middle, but it ended up being dark anyway, so I'm not sure why I bothered to erase it, but I do like the way it turned out. I will point out though that I am not a professional by any means as far as coloring, and I'm certainly not an artist. I'm just recently learned how to use the Prismacolors with Gamsol, and I love the way it looks, and I use it that way almost all the time when I use the Prismacolors. For his t-shirt, I used 2 light grays. I used Cool Gray 30, which is number 1061, and Cool Gray 50, number 1063. And for his pants, I used a combination of Ultramarine Blue, Copenhagen Blue, and Indigo Blue. Those are 902, 906, and 901 respectively. And for his jacket, I just used straight black for his jacket and his boots. And I like the way he turned out. For the wings, I used the Tim Holtz layered wing stamp. And I cut out all 3 layers of it. And I knew they were going to be too big, but they were the best wings that I had some other angel wing stamps that I tried, but they were the ones that I liked best. And I wanted them a little darker though, so I colored them with a Spectrum Noir IG4, and I didn't color them all the way down because I knew I'd be cutting some of it off, and I just layered them up to see how I liked them, to see if they were going to lay the way I wanted, because I was trying to decide whether I wanted to use all 3 layers or just 2 layers. I did end up using all 3 layers. After I decided I was going to use all 3, I cut them off where I had thought that they would need to be. I had used the little cutout of Dean to size them, and then I just put a little bit of art glitter glue on the very tips. Normally you can see glue through vellum and everything, but it's not going to matter on this because it's going to be behind. And then I just played with them a little bit to see if how they were going to fit and look the way that I wanted. Then I added more art glitter glue and glued them together. And I messed with the angle a little bit to get it the way that I wanted. And then I put Dean in front of it to make sure that I liked the way that it was going to look. I found out when I put Dean in front of it that I needed to trim it down just a little bit more. When I decided that it was the way I wanted, I added more art glitter glue and glued it to the back of my little Dean. I next took some Bristol paper from Canson, and I initially cut it down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I placed my Dean onto the cardstock and made a mark about where I wanted him to stand, and then I masked it off so that I could start working on my background. Like I said, I kind of wanted it to seem like he was glowing. I used the Crystal Amber Oxide ink for the light behind him, and then I used Blueprint Sketch for the bigger blue part behind him, and just kept checking to see if it was the way I wanted it to look. And I didn't blend it real well because I'm not good at blending. It requires a lot more patience than I have. And then I used ice spruce for the ground that he was standing on. I was going to make it look like steps, but I decided that was beyond my capabilities, so I just went ahead and made it a solid gray. I used the black soot wherever the blue was to just darken it up a little bit, and then I sprinkled some water onto it so that I would get those nice speckle spots that we all love when we use distress inks of any kind. Then cut down my card base, which I cut to 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. Background piece, I trimmed it to 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Then I scored my card base in half at 4 1/4, so I would have a landscape fold on my card. Black cardstock is from Joann's, and it is really nice heavy cardstock. I placed my trimmed background piece onto a white 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Neenah cardstock, mat it a little bit and make it pop a little on the black. And then I realized before I put my Dean on there, thank goodness, that I forgot to stamp my sentiment, and I used the You've Possessed Me sentiment, and I decided to emboss it, so I used my embossing bag and some Versamark ink and my Misty and stamped it down. And I stamped it twice just to make sure that I got a nice good impression. And then I used Nuvo Glacier White Powder to emboss it. If I was doing this card again, I probably would have embossed it in black because the embossing powder is beautiful and is a nice vibrant white. I think it just should have been done in black after I did it. I think it would have stood out a little bit better. Because I had already placed my background onto my card base, when I embossed it, I let my heat gun heat up and embossed it from the front. And then I went ahead and flipped the card open and embossed it from the back because it did warp it just a little bit. And I was trying to get it straightened out. After that, I put some Scotch mounting foam onto the back of my Dean and stuck him on the front of my card. His wings hang over slightly, but it still fits in a normal A2 size envelope just fine. And I think he turned out really, really cute. I think another thing that I might have done differently would be to have maybe doubled up the mounting foam and made him pop out just a little bit more. But like I said, I think he looks really cute, and I had a lot of fun making this card. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video and for hanging out with me, and I will see you in about 2 weeks, if not sooner. Thank you again. Have a great day.